Good job. Settle your bum into your chair. Find the sit bones grounding down. Let the crown of your head reach to the sky. Lift the shoulders up to the ears and roll them down your back. Take a nice deep breath. And just allow yourself to continue that deep breathing. Perhaps you have your eyes closed. So good. Feel the breath kind of go from your resting sit bones on the chair all the way up to the crown of your head. As if you are aware of your breath moving up and down your spine. Feel yourself deepening the exhale. Come here, kitty. And letting the inhale rise up. You're just shifting your awareness from the external room, the external world, and allowing yourself to concentrate for this next 45, 55 minutes on what's going on inside your body. Our whole purpose is to bring breath to invigorate and enliven and wake up the cells of our body, infusing it all with that fresh oxygenated blood. Good. All right, so allowing those hands to just rest down beside you. Take a nice inhale, sweeping them up as high as they feel like they want to go. And as you exhale, they release down again. Good work. Beautiful breath in as hands go to sky. And a sweet, slow exhale, releasing the arms back down again. See if you can feel the idea that the shoulder blades roll down the back as you lift your arms, and the shoulder blades release themselves to a neutral position as your hands go down. Remember, it doesn't matter how high the arms go. If they stop somewhere because the shoulders get too tight, let them. You're just noticing the inhale and the movement upwards of your arms on the inhale, the movement downward of the arms on the exhale. Nice. Next time the hands come down, we just leave them there. Let's lift the shoulders up to the ears and roll them down the back. Shoulders up to ears, roll them down again. And one more time. Head floats up, reaching the right ear to the right shoulder. Hand comes all the way up. Left ear to left shoulder. Float your head back to center. Move it again. Shoulder to ear to shoulder, up and to the other side. Sweet. As we do this again, right ear to right shoulder, this time reach your left hand in the opposite direction. So it feels like as your head is tipping right, that left hand is reaching down and away. Bring it back up to center. Do the same on the other side. Left ear to shoulder, your right arm stretches in the opposite direction. Good work. Bring everything back to center, and then chin drops to chest, sweeping that chin back and forth, letting it rise up towards the shoulder, back down to chest, up towards the opposite shoulder. Good. And then coming back to center. 3 shoulder rolls backward again, and then let the palms open. Spread the fingers wide apart. Stretch from thumb to pinky finger as far as you can. Nice. And then release into fists. Open wide. Make fists. Stretch wide. Make fists. And then open to a relaxed palm. Thumbs go down. Thumbs turn up. Feel like this in your wrist. Like, what if the wrist was doing the majority of the movement and you couldn't really feel the rest of your arm moving? Like the elbows and the shoulders kind of stayed still. Hard, but see if you can feel that happening. Okay, now stop there. See now if you can turn it with your elbow pits. The elbow pits turn upward and turn down. So the movement, the rotation isn't at the wrist anymore. It feels like it's happening at the elbows, but it is more shoulder. Good. And then now bring the arm bone into that shoulder socket. Feel the arm bone turn forward in the shoulder socket, turn back. Turn forward, turn back. Yeah. Okay. Now start to feel how the shoulder blades slide on the back body. As your arms turn forward, let those shoulder blades lift up towards your ears. As arms turn back, slide those shoulder blades back down the back body. Roll forward, roll back. Roll forward, roll back. Yes. Okay. Now shoulder blades are sliding on the back ribs. Now let your rib cage get involved. So it's almost like you lean forward, chin can tuck into chest, and then you open wide. Lean forward, open wide. Remember, it doesn't matter how big this movement is. It's only as big as your body lets it be. So if it needs to be really small, let it be really small. Your goal is to just let your breath reach into all those little nooks and crannies in your body. And rest. Spine sits tall. Do those 3 shoulder rolls backwards again. Nice. And we're going to bring some movement into the side body. So fingertips to shoulder caps. Lean right. Bring yourself back up to center. Lean left. Breathe. Oh. Back through center. Nice. So allow yourself to just expand the side body as you go from side to side here. Nice. Good. So keep fingertips on shoulders if there's any reason to. If you don't need to and those hands can come up higher, take them higher. You might be holding on to palms. You might be sort of just widening the elbows, but same movement, hands above your head. And then back down to center, lower. Shake your head, shake out your shoulders, and bring hands to heart. Thumbs stay connected to your breastbone and just begin to turn. As you exhale, you let yourself turn to one side. And as you inhale, you bring yourself back to center. So there's this sweet movement that feels like it is isolated to your mid-back. Possibly you're feeling it down the side ribs. But if your thumbs stay at the breastbone and your chin stays over the fingertips, then you're not doing like just neck and shoulder work. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So come back to center, slide your fingers to the ends of your knees. I'm going to just wobble my bum forward on the chair. Fingertips on the ends of the knees. Arch your back into a seated cat position and then lift the chest through the arms, even looking to the sky if it feels right. Chin to chest, arch your back. Inhale, lift your chest, maybe let the chin float up. See how that coincides with your breath. See if you can let your breath move smoothly up and down. Nice work. Doesn't it feel good to just put some movement back into the body? Yeah. Bringing yourself back to center. So sit bones still connected, spine tall, shoulders rolled back. Lift your right knee and reach that right foot forward. Bend the knee, put it down. Lift left, stretch, and down. Right knee up, foot kicks forward, knee comes down, foot lands. Left, reach, and down. Reach the right, and down. Sweet. Still, sit bones kind of on edge of chair. Do a big circle and tap that toe down over on the right. Circle it back to center. Take your left, big open, tap it back to center. Tap. We're just doing some nice hip openers here. Breathe. Make sure that the breath feels like it is slow and long. Yeah. Bringing everything back into center. Good. So feet stretch right out in front of you. Right heel crosses over left and you start to do this slide. So here, really in your mind, think of the muscles doing this are right up at the top of the thigh. So the foot is pulled back towards you. The slide feels like it's happening in all these upper thigh muscles. Good. So pull that heel up as far as it feels like it goes. For some of you, it's going to stay below the knee, and you'll just press it gently to the floor and release it. Press it to the floor and release it. If it feels like the heel passes the knee and you can bend the bottom foot, and then just sit tall. Sit tall, gently pressing that top knee down towards the floor. Breathe. Yeah, it's pretty big. Active foot, that foot that's bent, keep it active because that helps protect the knee. And then release, slide the right heel down the left shin again, and then uncross. Left crosses over right. Again, as this is happening, switch your brain from asking the heel to do the sliding up and down to asking the upper thigh muscles to pull the leg up and push it back down. So good. Heel slides up all the way. If it passes the knee, great, you can bend that foot. If it doesn't matter. Either way, we're just playing around with that knee opening up to the side. That bent leg opening up. If the right foot is on the floor, you can even just feel like you sit really tall and you will feel that show up in the hip. Nice. When you are ready, straightening that right heel and sliding the left foot down. I'm doing that. Bring the feet in. So with your bum wiggled right to the edge of your chair, look down. You want your toes to be underneath your knees. And then just start to lengthen your spine, leaning forward. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Notice your hands on your legs. Instead of pushing hands into legs to come to standing, keep hands really light. Some of you may even be able to bring hands to cross your chest. If not, leave them here. It's okay. But let yourself feel strong in the legs, like you're pushing into the feet, that pushing the feet and straightening the legs is what's going to lift you, not pushing into your hands, okay? So lean forward, you'll feel the legs get really tactile, and then lift up. Good work. Soles of your feet press into the floor. Hands reach down beside you. Big inhale, hands to sky. Lean to the right. Come up to center. Lean to the left. Good. One more time each side. come up to center, hands release down. Good work. Shoulders roll down the back. Yeah. And then allow yourself to turn and face the back of your chair. So maybe you're going to move the chair so that you can come to stand behind it. Once you get behind your chair, imagine that your feet touch and that you could close a zipper. Zip up the insides of your legs so they feel like they're close to each other. And then we lift onto tippy toes and sink back down again. Lift onto tippy toes and sink back down. So good. Imagine the crown of your head going right up to the ceiling. So it's not so much of a lean forward as it is a reach up. Good. Last one, and then come down. You can feel it in the backs of the legs. Right foot stretches back behind you. Put the toenails down on the floor. Okay, for some of us, this is all we need. That's enough. If you want, you can lean back a little bit. You'll feel it. Take a deep breath. And then lift and put that foot back down again. Let's go with the left. Toenails on the floor. Lean a little bit. Nice. One more breath. And then release that. Just take your right foot and draw big circles with the ankle. Go the other way. And put that foot back down on the ground. Lift the left. Do circles. Circle the other way. And put it down. Good. Feet together. We bend your knees. Hands come to the tops of your thighs. And just feel like you do some circles here. Soles of your feet stay connected to the floor. Soft and gentle. Change which direction you're rolling. Good work. And then come all the way up. Separate your feet just a little bit and think about hula hoops. I want you to press the hips as far to the right as they'll go. Reach it up through the right hip, all the way through center, through the left hip, over to the side, out through your left bum cheek, right bum cheek. As big as those circles feel like they can be in your body. And then whatever direction you're going, change it. Same thing, just press to the outer edge, however big your hula hoop is. Super slow. It's not the kind of motion that would actually hold a hula hoop in place. Yeah. Nice. And then bring that to center. Good. A little bit of buoyancy in those knees. Turn to face the back of your chair if you're not still. Good. Right foot steps back. Push it into the ground. Your left knee will bend. Nice. And then just begin to lean forward. Keep the back heel pressing down into the floor. Let the body in a nice long straight line press forward. Nice. And then bring yourself back up. This time the front leg stays straight. Tailbone reaches back behind you and you fold forward with the front leg straight. Breathe. So good. Feel that down the back of your leg. And then inhale, come all the way up. Bend into your knees. Step forward with the right. Back with the left. Front knees bent. And then just lean. Lean towards the back of your chair. Press that back heel down into the floor. Reach through the crown of your head. Breathe deeply here. Your shoulders are relaxed. The back heel's pressing. The spine is extending up to the ceiling. Nice. Straighten that front knee and fold forward. Breathe. One more breath over that straight front leg. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up again. Bend your knees and step forward. Good. I'm going to turn just so you can see me better. Your toes point out. Okay, we'll do some more ankle work. Knees bend. Come up onto your tippy toes. Straighten your legs. Drop the heels. Knees bend. Heels lift. Straight legs. Drop the heels. Good. Now we go the other way. Always get confused. So we're going to come up onto tippy toes, then bend knees, then release heels and straighten the legs. Tippy toes, knees bend, release heels slowly with control, straighten the legs. Last one, up, knees bend, heels down, straight legs. So good. Okay, so I want you to just point those right toes out in front of you. And then you're going to turn the leg open and close. So it feels like my foot is moving like a windshield wiper. Toes turn outward, toes turn inward. And the movement is coming from this top thigh. And that's enough. Do the same with the other side. Toes point out and then we rotate in that hip socket. Yeah, it's tighter on one side than the other, isn't it? Good. Sweet work. Okay, so toes separate here. You're going to keep the chair close enough that you can use it for balance. Feet are hip width apart, toes point out, and knees reach out over those toes, and then you press the legs back up again. So this movement might be really small. If you're hearing a lot of cracking in those knees, you might just be going here. Stay where there isn't that crinkling sound coming from the knees or popping. We don't want to aggravate anything, so it can be as big or it can be as little as your body needs. Good. Coming all the way back up again. Think now of yourself sliding down a wall. So if I were to just make sure that your pelvis doesn't poke out, doesn't tuck under, right? Slide your back down a wall. Your fingers might come to touch the chair. Your legs are going to burn here. Breathe. If you don't need the chair, the hands can float up in front of you. This is actually called chair pose. Sometimes we call it thunderbolt, but it's hard. Hands release down. Nice tall spine. Here's the one we've all been waiting for. Hands to the back of your chair. Oh, stretch out into a nice flat back. Heels right underneath your hips. Push the sit bones to the back of your wall. Press the chest, letting it drop down between the shoulders. Breathe. Knees bend. Walk all the way up. Good work. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. I'm going to make it a bit harder if you want. So you can do the hard version of this if you want. This is one I'm going to make sure my chair doesn't move. It's not going to be pushed away from me. So it's either pushed up against a wall, another piece of furniture, or it's on a mat where it won't move. Okay, come down and then choose if you'd like to lift one leg. Lift it 1 inch off the floor or all the way alongside the body, whatever feels good. Let's take it down, bend your knees, walk forward, breathe. Every time we kind of flatten out our spine like that, blood gets to rush to our brains. So you can feel that sometimes when you come back up again. Yeah? That is really short term. It can feel really jarring on your pulse, your heart rate, but long term it soothes the nervous system. It soothes your circulatory system. Okay, we're going to do the other leg. Come out. Opposite heel lifts all the way up. Nice. Breathe. Foot comes down, knees bend, and bring yourself forward. So good. Hey, so stand somewhere where you can just feet hip width apart, sway your hips from side to side, and don't let them kind of turn. We're not doing a hula hoop motion now. It's almost like you're sliding your hips in the seam of a patio door, like a sliding door. Yeah. Good work. All right. I'm going to stand so that one hand can touch the chair, separate my feet a little bit, and then the foot that's closest to the chair turns to face the chair. My hips push the opposite direction. Now, if you were being like squished front to back between two panes of glass in the trash compactor of Star Wars, pull your top shoulder up. Reach this side body long. Perhaps the top hand lifts to sky. Maybe it sits on your hip. Your bottom hand can choose where it wants to go, okay? Lots of options. Hang on to the chair. Yeah. And then pull your hips back to center. Good work. Now you're going to turn and let your other foot come away from the chair. I'll move my chair so that you can still see me. So the toes point closest to the chair, the hips push the opposite way, long, flat back. So it feels like the tailbone to the crown of the head's in a straight line. And then the top shoulder rolls open, the top ribs roll open. You find whatever version of this pose suits you. Keep breathing deep. Keep breathing deep. Good work. Press firm into the feet. I like to imagine a bulldozer just pulled up to my back hip and pushes everything forward. Good work. Bend into your knees, step forward, and press yourself into that extension again. This is like countertop stretch. If it feels good here, bend your knees deeply and just push your bum backwards. Notice how the spine feels nice and stretched out there. Yeah. And then walk the feet back to center. Good work. Just stand however you want right now before we move on. Close your eyes or drop your eyes to the floor. Feel the blood moving in your body. The radiation of that circulation from the heart center all the way out to the fingers and toes. So good. We're just tuning in to the current of the life force, the prana, the energy, the life force in your own body. Feel that. Delicious. All right. You get to choose now what your next move is. So perhaps you're going to stay seated in the chair, in which case you just get to sit down here. If you are ready to do some movement on the floor, then you might, I don't know, if you're on a hardwood like I am, you might want to put a blanket underneath you. You might choose to have a pillow. See if I can give you a slightly better picture. There we go. All right. So I'm going to recline down onto the floor, onto my bum, and then let myself lie down on my back, bringing the pillow underneath my head. All right. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Start just letting your hands land on your hips and dropping your right knee open, bringing it back to center, dropping your left knee open, bringing it back to center. Can you do that movement without wobbling your hips on the floor? One knee at a time. Good. Bring the knees back to center. Reach your fingertips to the sky. Really settle your shoulders down onto the floor. And then feel your shoulders lift off the floor. Sink them back down. Feel them lift up. Sink them back down. So in the video, it just looks like my fingers are going closer to the ceiling. In reality, my shoulder blades are initiating all the movement as they come off the floor and come back down. Yeah. Nice. And then let those arms rest. Now bring your right knee into your chest. Just give it a squeeze and point and flex those toes. Everything feels different when we're on our backs. Turn the toe one direction, turn the toe another direction. Start to stretch that foot up to the sky. Feel the back of the leg get a nice stretch and drop back down again. Foot lands on the floor. Opposite knee comes in, point and flex those toes. Roll the foot in a big circle and stretch it up to the sky. Sweet. I miss my hand. Slowly releasing that foot back down to the floor. Good. Lift your hands up to the sky, and I want you to float them back behind you and then lift them back up to the sky. See if you can keep your back quiet. You're not arching your back to let your arms fall behind you. The ribs on the front side of your body stay soft. Exhaling those hands back, inhaling them back up to the ceiling. Nice work. And then come to center. The palms just reach down to grab the opposite elbow. Knees fall one way, elbows fall the other way. Inhale back to center. Drop elbows left, knees right. Inhale back to center. Other way. For me, elbows right, knees left. Here it's important to just notice how far you can go. Notice if one side feels stickier than the other. Move with control so you're not collapsing the body into the twist. You're lowering it smoothly into that twist. Good work. All right, here's a bit of a harder move. Okay, so some of you might choose not to do this, some of you can. Maybe if your chair is there, you get to put the feet on the chair, hands press into the knees, knees press into the hands. So I just want you to push knees away from you, knees push into hands. You can feel your core turn on and release. Maybe feet to the floor, maybe feet to chair, whatever feels good. If you're seated, you can do this seated. Next one, the hands come in between the knees, but you cross the arms and the palms push into the knee, and it pushes the knees outward and the knees push inward. Good work. And then release. We've got one more. This time, the hands turned face in, they cross, they turn to face the outside of the knee. So your hands on the outsides of the knees press out and the hands press in. Push the knees outward into the hands, push the hands into the knees. Nothing moves, but everything's working. And release. If you are set up to just let your heels reach up onto your chair, you go ahead. That is one beautiful way to finalize your yoga today. If it feels like a piece of furniture is close to you and you can put the heels up on the back of a piece of furniture, you can do that. Alternately, Just put your feet on a wall. Some of you just like this. As you settle down into your final pose, into your final rest, allow your breath to become the focal point of your awareness again. Feel the prana, the life force, move from your heart and lungs, radiating outward to your fingertips and toes. Just become aware of the fact that your movement has invited breath into every nook and cranny of your body. And feel those next few breaths reach into all those nooks and crannies that now that you've released tension and you've let go of grippiness or tightness in the body, the breath has free rein. And there is a quantum intelligence to that breath. An intelligence that cannot be countered by anything external to your body. The design, the engineering, the wisdom that is built into your body is brilliant. And for the next few breaths, that brilliance is just reaching everywhere, so happy that your stillness is allowing it to do work. And if you are in the perfect place right now to continue into a meditation, then please feel free to just close your computer and move into your meditation. If that practice felt complete and you are ready to move on, take a nice deep breath. Let a little smile crack onto your face. Feel the exhale slide out of your body. You begin to move really slow, as slow as you need to. There is no need to get up out of the chair or up off the floor with any kind of speed. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.